Make out with your co-workers Wednesday. We get it! You want to sleep with your kids! I am on a journey to get the Platinum Trophy in every single Borderlands game, and that includes the new Tales of the Borderlands. If you like the video, like it, and if you love it, feel free to subscribe, watch one the others have already done. As always, Marcus tells us a story, our tale beginning with Jabbers being set free from a lab. We are Anu, a scientist at Atlas working on a gun that she swears isn't a gun, and it uses iridium to phase things. The only issue is we have no idea where they go or how to get them back. And you might assume that'll come back later as a big reveal. Nope, don't worry about it. Telltale gameplay standard here. We walk around, we can interact with things, and occasionally do a quick time event. First is putting this code into the safe, which I mess up immediately, getting our first ding trophy. I then pick up the iridium and repair our not gun by scientifically bonking it, getting another ding trophy. We are then called into the manager's office for freeing all the Jabbers earlier. Now we jump to Octavio. He's also us, and he's going to get tacos. First, we need to help our friend L0U13, or as we call him, Louis. He is an assassin robot, so if you have someone's full name, it's automatically ran through his head in a database, and if they're on a hit list, he takes them out without any control. I wonder if that'll be a big dramatic thing later. No. Now onto our third playable character, Fran the Rage Machine. She has a cute little pocket watch which counts up the days since her last anger explosion, and she runs her own froyo shop. I'm pretty sure this is Lorelei from Borderlands 3, but they've now transitioned and go by Lore. And I love how they don't mention anything about this, because it's just not seen as a big deal at all in the Borderlands universe. They transition, so what? But it is just randomly thrown in here. We never see them again. They're not important at all. Back to Anu. She's in her meeting with Reese, because remember the end of the Telltale game? He actually found a deed to Atlas, and he has a terrible mustache from the third game. I tell him about the phaser I made, and it might just save my job. I give him a demonstration, choosing to blast a mannequin, but it turns out he loves that thing, so he's heartbroken when he finds out we don't know how to get it back. So we phase his cute little robo companion after it, and I get fired. Back as Aqua helping Louis with an assassination target. I buzz the door claiming to have pizza, but when he comes down realizing I don't have any, I just tell him it's a prank show, and somehow this works. Remember, we need to get him to confirm his full name. We get him to sign the legal waivers to appear on the show, and when he does,
you just got L0U13.
And now we have our taco money. Fran time. Still at the froyo shop, we get an unwelcome visitor. This person basically has a protection racket on the shop, except when the Maliwan war happened, they did nothing, hence the giant hole in the building. And since we don't have the money to give him anyway, he pulls an ice pick on us where we have to defend ourselves. Despite being wheelchair bound, I take him on with a broom, impaling him, somehow dodge it when he throws it back like a javelin, and I freeze him solid. Here we get our first major choice. We can decide whether to shatter him or let him defrost, and I choose to let him live. Our science girlie already lost her job, and her day is about to get a whole lot worse. The ship's being invaded by Tedior, a rival weapons manufacturer, and we even find out our goldfish died. But our only friend here, Fong, is an absolute hero. She gives us a hug and her Vaultlander action figure we have to collect, then sacrifices herself so we can get in the escape pod. As Ock, I run some background checks on everyone to make sure Louis doesn't accidentally assassinate them, and then I need to help Poco the taco man in his taco van find his pet rat. But after running his background check, I don't know if I want to.
I'm not sure this is 100% legal.
Oh no. But hey, a man's gotta eat. I find the next Vaultlander piece, which is actually Claptrap, and then I go get the rat. I then learn this hacking minigame, and by learn, I get it wrong so many times. For some reason, you have to press it stupidly early. You press it when it's actually in the box, it's wrong. And the radio announces that Tedior are actually attacking Meridian City, where we are, although it sounds like a town out of Pokemon. Back as Fran, an insurance investigator has arrived, because they're going to cover the cost of everything that happened in the Maliwan War. However, she's a bitch from high school. She was clearly the popular kid, and let's face it, I wasn't, so that terrifies me. And she references Fran's rage explosion where she presses a secret mode in her chair and a bunch of chaos happened. Will that come back later? Will she use that mode? Oh my god, foreshadowing. Nope, forget about it. I show her all the damage and finds Vaultlander Amara. Fran then hits the meanest 6-7 you've ever seen, and we find out Ock actually works for Fran, and listen to her talking about him here.
It's stupid as hell, but in the handsome way.
Do you need a minute?
Not usually.
Yeah, this is weird as hell. Fran is constantly compared to the mum figure here looking after them, but she's also constantly trying to sleep with them. The insurance woman wants to look in the back room, and the game really doesn't want us to, but I don't remember why. So I go, sure, go on in. And then I remember that's where we froze the bloke. So she obviously seeing him, but she loves it. She says she can see the ice picks. He clearly attacked us. Good on us for defending ourselves. TDO invasion time. The commander has took to the streets saying that everyone needs to abandon, everyone needs to run for their lives. Let's do the pacifist run here, let's just hide. But Radon, the little explodey man, takes matters into his own hands. I get to choose who to call for help, and I call Paco the Taco Man, and his rats jump out the sewers like Ninja Turtles, except they actually eat the commander alive and drag him back down there. And I find a sentient gun named Brock. I pick him up and use him as a weapon despite his protest. Because he wants to stop us, he'll never let us shoot what we're aiming at. So if we decide to shoot at the mailbox, it'll say screw you and move to the right, shooting the man. And if we aim at the man, it'll shoot at the mailbox. And I'm deathly allergic. So I throw Brock away and I run for my life, but we do unfortunately get caught. I choose to crap my pants and then ask for the name of our soon-to-be killer.
You just got L0U13.
Back as Anu, I wake up in Meridian City next to Stapleface, and I immediately accept my fate, but she actually freezes. Since she's so nice, I decide to talk to the other psychos, but it turns out they are, well, psycho. But I make a run for it, and I use my phaser to teleport them to God knows where, which is still probably a better fate than what happens to this last guy. I hit the quick time event and use the invincible finisher move on him, and let's see what our new best friend thinks about this.
Potatoes, potatoes!
Ock and Louie get to Fran's froyo shop, and she lectures us, saying she taught us better than that. Ock pushes back initially, saying stop being my mum, but then also does go in for a hug. Tedior bursts in, so he hides in the back, and here is the first example of how the game ruins anything that could be remotely tense. The game just decides whenever there's a moment that you could actually be invested in, they just do the stupidest thing you can think of. And it turns out that they can't even shoot us because Fran is still paying off the froyo machine, which is made by Tedior. So instead they throw a bunch of grenades. I miss a quick time event and burst like a bloody balloon bag, getting ding trophy. Second time round though, I knock it outside and make a run for it. Look how many grenades are being thrown here. This place should be rubble. And remember that guy frozen in the back? Yeah, he won't be for long. Anu actually arrives here just as they go off, throwing her backward, knocking her out twice in the space of 2 minutes. That cannot be good for your brain box. Ding trophy. But don't worry, she landed on some conveniently placed pillows. That's not me saying that, that's the game. But the group finally together overheard Tedior talking about the vault. It has a doomsday weapon inside it, which is interrupted by our old boss Reese giving us a call. Tedior stole the Atlas vault key. He wants to pay us to stop them from opening the vault. Why he thinks Anu, a random scientist, is remotely qualified or capable to do this, I don't know. He's literally a weapon manufacturer with his own army, but we are the only ones that could possibly do this. Louis then tells us about skateboard score. It's basically the power of friendship. If I pick the right dialogue options, everyone becomes friendlier, the score goes up, and it's important to get a trophy later on. But having no way to know which is the right dialogue option, I have to do that on another playthrough. We overheard that Tedior are actually in the sewer, so that's our starting point. We get to decide if we want to go in loud and proud or sneaky beaky like. I go for my Hitman Silent Assassin routine here. Ock goes for a different game reference, embracing his Solid Snake. Obviously this won't work. The soldier says he won't kill us or tell anyone else if we can beat him in a game of Vault Landers. I use Claptrap because he's by far the worst across the board. What this is quick time events. You spam hits, you do a few dodges, but Claptrap it takes forever. But eventually we do a Mortal Kombat finisher. Claptraps is a little leg sweep, and we get ding trophy for using Claptrap and ding trophy for winning a Vault Landers game. And the soldier then hangs his head in shame and lets us pass. And the Tedior guards find the vault first. With the vault comes the Guardians, and they are not messing around. This is brutal as hell. Remember that rat we saved earlier? Her name's Juniper, and we're gonna use her to dig us a tunnel under and round to the other side so we can get in the vault. One problem though, Fran can't fit her chair through the hole, so we have to separate and we leave her behind. At least it would should be a problem. She turns up 2 seconds later on the other side, smashing through the wall. Completely pointless. Inside the vault, we find these Iridium writings, which we can translate, and it's literally an ad. It says like and subscribe to the channel. No, but seriously, I'm not joking. It is an ad. What the hell? Remember when this game used to make vaults mysterious and cool? The Iridium tech we try and use is a trash shower. I'm not joking. It's literally a garbage shower. I love Borderlands. I've done this entire series and had a great time, but this writing is the worst I've ever seen. It is killing me. Speaking of killing me, everyone meet the Devourer, the vault monster. R.I.P. Juniper. Fran gets grabbed and puts her chair in reverse, smashing into the wall, immediately killing it. Well, for about 5 seconds. It turns out there's actually this green shard, a stone in its tongue that keeps reviving it. We need to get that stone. We make a plan. Ock's gonna run laps around the monster, get it in position. Fran can freeze its tongue. That sounds cool. And if we miss a QTE, Ock actually just gets straight up 8. Sounds cool. Sounds exciting. You may wonder why I'm complaining. That's because we do this 5 times. We spend 2 minutes convincing him to run around. Then he does a whole lap running around. No one else does anything. We have to convince him again to run around. Fran misses the freeze ray. We then have to convince him again. He runs around again. Fran tries to freeze it again, giving us the crystal. Anu teleports the monster God knows where. Again, you might think that's gonna come back later, but nope, it literally doesn't matter. Ding, trophy. Ock then tries to gaslight Louis, saying that he did everything and he is the hero, but listen to this sassy little robot.
It's called poetic license.
Oh, Octavio, darling, it's called embarrassing.
Then messing with the shard, he breaks his ankle and it heals him, leading on to the next scene where everyone literally shoots each other over and over again using the shard to heal them. Anu then realizes she can use her phase gun and turn it into a heal ray. So I do a bit of sciencing in the Froyo shop that should be rubble by now and find out that the snowman out back is still alive, and in the fridge is the frickin' Vaultlander guy from earlier. This time Amara versus Vasquez, and wow, I do so much more damage not using Claptrap. The heal gun worked perfectly. We need some money to make more, so we decide to go on Sink or Swim, a literal game show like Dragon's Den or Shark Tank. I think is the same thing. That's probably what rip it off actually. We say our idea, they give us a bunch of money, or they drop us in a tank with the shark. Meanwhile, TDR set a bounty on Anu's head because they want the shard for themselves. I wonder if that'll cause a big issue with Louis, right? Because he can see the bounty is going to be forced to kill us. No, doesn't matter, never comes up. In the green room, Ock actually hacks the competition, which is pretty much as good as murdering him, because if the device doesn't work, he gets dropped in the sharks and ate alive. But now it's our turn, and with our life on the line here, I see the option to just straight up have a panic attack, and it seems the most relevant. Anu is dropped into the sharks, and Fran cannonballs inside the pit to save us. This part should be cool. Fran's fist fighting sharks underwater, but do we see any of it? No. I'm telling you, this game has cool ideas and then just the worst execution you've ever heard. Anu loses her leg here. We have a heal ray with us, but Ock decides to flex. Fran offers to give us mouth to mouth, then after far too long, we remember the thing exists and then peel her leg, and Fran once again offers more mouth to mouth to her daughter. But this demonstration does get us an angel investor. They want to give us $1 million and a ding trophy for 50% of the profits we make. And Fran tries to kiss us again. I swear, the amount of family loving in this game, you would think it's a Rick and Morty episode. I convince her to settle for a group hug instead. Ock is gonna take all of our money, find us a new headquarters, Anu's going to find us science supplies, and Fran is gonna go get us some new staff so we can make the product. Anu now enters the morgue as thunder crackles around her. This place is spooky. It's got giant Batman doors, got wheelbarrows full of skulls. I love it. Here we meet the delightfully creepy Keeper of the Dead. She says she has products to sell us, and while stroking a corpse says it'll make her children very happy. So of course I have another panic attack. Turns out she makes candles, and when she says children, she doesn't mean the corpses, she means their actual kids. She calls us a creep but changes her tone when she sees our bounty on the TV. She says she'll be right back, where I accidentally bonk the head off this guy. In the body bin, we find a TDO Vaultlander guy again, who challenges to combat. This time Vasquez versus Roland, and of course with it being Roland, I shoot him. Back to putting Humpty Dumpty back together again. I find a metal rod and cram it into its neck hole, and then I start putting the head on it, and the bar looks too big. It looks like it's gonna come out the other end, but luckily it does not. The Keeper comes back into the room. She wants to keep us as she pushes us into a coffin, leaving Anu no choice but to Kill Bill her way out, literally punching it till it breaks. I mess up the QuickTime event here thinking she'd think it was a stupid idea and do something else. Nope, ending the chapter there. Ding, trophy as she punches it thousands of times off screen. I land the final blow on the coffin and it explodes around us, leading to another confrontation with the Keeper. I can choose to go for the scalpel or the fist, but since again I'm a pacifist, I punch her in the face. I don't think I know what that word means. I absolutely spin her jaw, but I do leave her alive. TDR arrives for the bounty, but I make a run for it just about. And then we meet at our new headquarters, the Froyo shop. I'm not even joking, this is ridiculous. Ock spent all of our money buying the Froyo shop Fran already owned, even though we needed a new headquarters where we wouldn't be detected. Ding, trophy, I guess. It comes with a little security robot now though that fires Nerf bullets. We're all saved.
But wait, there's more!
Frank got us a single employee that makes our robot twerk. Ding, trophy. He literally only says the phrase free labor like he's a Pokemon. And since we didn't even change our location, of course TDR comes straight for us. Alongside Brock the gun, who absolutely smokes Anu. Fran freezes the guards, Ock hacks a little robo guy to shoot real bullets, and then Brock the gun just kinda stands there looking at us for a bit. It could shoot us, it could kill us all, just decides not to and then leave. Of course, Ock uses the heal gun on Anu and she's all fine again, with Fran offering yet even more mouth to mouth. Slight problem though, Anu does get possessed by the shard, where Fran picks up the gun, calls it nothing but bad news and tries to destroy it, despite the fact it's literally just saved Anu's life and got them millions of dollars. What are you doing? Ock talks to the spirit possessing Anu. There's another shard and it's supposed to be connected, so Ock promises they'll find the shard together as long as they keep Anu safe. Wow, maybe a little bit of tent, more mouth to mouth. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Make out with your co-workers Wednesday. We get it, you want to sleep with your kids. There's the intro. With no money and no supplies now, we call our angel investor who offers to give us a safe place to stay.
Ooh, this is nice!
But Angel Investor refuses to introduce themselves because they're getting ready for the party tonight. We're all invited, but they gave us some diversions until then. Louis can plug himself into the wall and he loves it. Ock gets the super VIP club treatment. Everything seems way too perfect for him here, getting ding trophy for using the taco fountain. Meanwhile, Anu has a science lab where she is in charge. She has a group of colleagues who idolize her and there's problems only she can solve. And she finds the Maya Voltlander piece. Fran, on the other hand, finds a duplicate of her Froyo shop in one piece as it's going to become a franchise. I open a storage box, finding the TDR Voltlander guy again, dueling him again. I take on Brick as Fong. Her finishing move is just leaving a negative review. Fran somehow realizes it's a trap though, freezing the person solid and making a run for it. Ock is that stupid he willingly steps into a cage because he's told it's the super VIP experience, and Anu does the same, calling it an observation chamber. I give Anu another panic attack because at this point she deserves it. I remember fighting the Voltlander guy 10 seconds ago. He ambushes us again and we fight him again. I haven't been hit once by the way doing this, and that isn't to say I'm some god tier gamer. I am trash, it's just this game is brain dead. Fran then blue balls Louis, pulling him out the wall, and says that their kids are in trouble. So yes, she does see them as kids after all. She's immediately caught, so there was no difference in them stepping into the cage, and it's revealed that our angel investor is the head of TDR, Susan, and we just brought her the missing piece of the shard she wants. Oh, and Louis can't help us because he got STDs from the wall. I wish I was making this up. Surely the obvious joke is to say he got computer viruses, but no, the game goes with STDs and makes a joke of them using his back paw to get through this, Lewis. TDR then calls all of the other weapons manufacturers and gives them a demonstration, literally killing and reviving Ock over and over again to prove a point. To quote Jevons here, "Born dies, born dies, born die." But remember Anu got possessed by the shard earlier? This lets her force pull the shard, literally impaling herself with it. Anu then runs right between the shard and her brother, right? This placement is very important. Fran goes on a murder rampage, throwing hands with everyone, using the same chair that TDR themselves said that they can control when they stopped her earlier. Back to Anu, she's gone and so is the shard because Susan grabbed the shard, put it in a death gun and uses it on Fran. Where's Anu? Where's she gone? Don't worry about it. Ding trophy. Then we've just been captured, so I guess they got us off screen. Ock is then thrown back in prison, but alive, so I guess they purposely revived them to put him in the cell, and they keep trying to cut the shard out of Anu, but she heals too quickly so they can't grab it. And we are inside Anu's mind. The spirit makes us go back in time and take over the mind of a Jabba in the lab. This is also we can learn that Anu wasn't very nice to Fong. Why does this matter when they're literally still shown to be friends? Don't know. I got no idea why Fran or Louis are even alive, but she tries to fight back and freezes herself solid, so this time they've got control of the chair again. And remember Brock talking gun, he's come over to Octavio just to mock him, I guess, which leads Ock to realize he's alive because he is the leverage they need to control Anu. So he picks up the sentient gun, puts it to his own head and says, "Free me or I'll kill myself," which somehow worked. Fran's still captured. This would be the perfect opportunity to go into her rage mode. You know, the one she keeps mentioning about how she did once upon a time? The secret formation Bachar can use. This will be a perfect opportunity. Save everyone's life. Go Super Saiyan. Nope. She instead gets a little bit annoyed, which melts the ice. Hatches the axe. Straight up decapitates one man and throws it at the other. Still in Anu's mind, although this time she's in Ock's body, she finds out that she wasn't very nice to him either. So she goes back into her own body in that moment, builds a metaphorical bridge, and hugs him and apologizes, which again isn't even to the real him, it's just to herself, and Ock is still friends and loves her and forgives her anyway, so none of this matters. But since Fran got too angry, her pocket watch now fights her for some reason, but at least the art style's cute. Ding trophy. Ock with the gun still pointed to his head comes across two more guards. They could point their guns at him, they could just let him go, instead putting their guns to their own heads and pulling the trigger for some reason. Why? What? We get into the TDR leader Susan's office, we get ambushed by the Vaultlander guy again, beat him again, and find a smartwatch which is linked to the entire spaceship we're on. Also, we put Brock down here and he just chills on the table looking at us. He could shoot us, he could run away, he could do anything. Nope. Running the last of the background checks gets us ding trophy. And we learn where Anu's being held, but here is where I decide to spend my money. I've been saving it the whole game. I get the most expensive items to tick off ding trophy. And I like to avoid these, especially on the first playthrough, because it just takes you out of the story. They look ridiculous, but quite frankly, I don't care about this game anymore. I expect everyone to look dumb as hell from here on out. Still in Anu's head though, we follow the shard spirit doing a bunch of siren powers, phase walking, some phase locking, even flying. Oh, maybe Anu's a secret siren. Maybe she's gonna do all these powers in real life. Nope, it's all in her head. We'll never see it or use it again. The gang get to Anu's body. There's one more soldier, but it's actually Stapleface. She's back. I love her. And she even annoys Fran here. That's bonus points from me, baby.
We are friends! Maybe more! Very! Will they, won't they? Have you two had, mouth to mouth?
Our not siren wakes up and we make a break for it. But the guards don't bother coming after us because of this.
I think we should let him finish them off. This seems really important to him. He's gonna be so tuckered out later. Poor little guy.
Not long left, I can do this. We're getting fired at and Ock announces he could help us, but then he spends 5 seconds doing a dancey dance with Louis and Stapleface gets shot. The next part is literally a 5-minute section of just pain. Anu's trying to open the door and she can't figure it out, so she uses her goggles, she goes microscopic, she goes subatomic, she goes all of the way in, and here we see the little robot that we phased out of Reese's office forever ago. I guess this little tiny fracture within the door is where we've been phasing things this whole time. What? And if so, where the hell is everything else? And you may wonder what the robot wants. It just says pull. On the giant door, there's a singular thing. It's the fucking handle and she doesn't pull it. Oh, and you might be thinking Anu can just heal Stapleface. The heal ray, the heal shard is inside her. It's worked on literally everyone else so far in the game. Nope, for whatever reason, doesn't work on Stapleface. She dies. It heals everyone else before this and after this. Just fuck you, Stapleface. The next door has a liquid crystal lock that's so secure even the smartest of hackers can't get away inside. But for some reason, Fran does a little dancey dance, and with her froyo expertise, she configures the ice crystals in a certain way that the door opens. Is it too late to cancel this video? Louis then sacrifices himself taking a bullet for Ock, and I don't mind this. He's the best friend. Messiah assassination bot that's not supposed to feel anything, sacrificing themselves for their friend. And then Susan, the TDO girlie, uses the red shard to murder everyone on the planet below. She does it knowing Anu will give herself over with the green shard if it means they can bring everyone back. But the shard within Anu says they can combine the green and the red, they can save everyone on the planet and her friends, but it will take over her body. It will end up killing her and using her as a host, right? I say it's worth it. I pick that option, at which point the host loses it. They kill anyone that's ever killed anyone, leaving just Ock left alive, because remember those guys we shot earlier? It actually improved their life, and I guess the guys we convinced to shoot themselves doesn't count. We then have to prove we're a good brother after all, so we get quizzed on a bunch of decisions we made as Anu throughout the game. Bear in mind, Ock weren't even around for half of these, but I actually smashed this to my own surprise. I then go in for a hug with Lil Sis, and it heals everyone on Earth. That isn't Stapleface, because fuck you, Stapleface. We pull the shard from Anu, everyone back alive. It flies off happily. We all live happily ever. Fran died off screen. I don't know what happened. Susan killed her. We brought her back. The spirit killed her. We brought her back, and then she died off screen anyway. Ding trophy. Roll the credits on this trash. Let's just blast through the other endings to finish this video. The good endings. I have to go through the entire game again, but don't worry, I'm not putting you through that. Anu refuses the shard, and then Susan takes it herself, turning into this red monster thing. So we make a giant skateboard, and with the power of friendship, punch the shard out of her, killing her. But the ship is smashing into the planet. Don't worry, we all live apart from Louis. The best ending is literally identical. We smash ourselves into the planet, but one little dialogue choice somehow means that it's fixable and back alive. Then onto the bad ending, it's literally just the same thing. We're all going smashing to the ground, but a different person dies off screen. We already had the Fran, then there's an Anu one and an Ock one. If you're gonna have different endings in the game, at least make them different. Whatever, ding trophy, ding platinum, get this trash off my PlayStation. Love you lots.